Sukhasana. You can sit in a block if you'd like to. We're going to need a strap straight away this morning. So sit in a cushion or a block if you want to, just to make yourself comfortable, because we're going to take a breath practice. So breath practice, easy pose. The point is to be in a position that you are comfortable so that you can take your breath practice easily. So Sukhasana, easy pose. If you'd rather therefore be kneeling or sitting with your legs out in front of you, this is just a suggestion. In yoga, everybody does it, but it's not necessarily just because the guru said it was the easiest pose to do meditation in, essentially. It's not necessarily the one for you. And if your mind all the time is being drawn to the fact you're not comfortable in the lower half, then you can breathe properly and relax into the breath practice, which is the whole point of it. Okay, so have your straps, and we're going to use the strap just to become aware of what we're doing in our breath practice. We did do this before, so it's not something completely new. Some of you may not have. We're wrapping it around the bottom of your ribs. So we're thinking of the diaphragm here, and the diaphragm really kind of joins the bottom of all your ribs. If you think of the ribs are slightly higher at the front and lower at the back, essentially it's between there that your diaphragm stretches, attached to your spine as well, obviously. So pop the strap along so that you can still feel bone beneath it. You've not gone to the soft bit around your waist. And then cross the strap over at the front, and without being too uncomfortable, cross it over and hold it quite tightly, so that as if you were putting your belt on and trying to hold your belly in a little bit. So that sort of feeling, and hold it so that your hands are holding it in place at that sort of tightness. Okay, so thinking of the diaphragm now, you can maybe feel already, you're feeling as if you're pushing against the strap. We're going to go on to the breath practice and just be aware of how much you're moving your diaphragm and whether you can move it better using this method just to train yourself. So inhaling when you're ready for 4 and exhaling for 4. If it doesn't come straight away because of the strap there, just take it slowly. Let the strap ease a little bit in between as you inhale. Don't hold it so tightly that you can't breathe. You just want to feel the movement of your ribs. And then the gathering as you exhale. Just take a few breaths yourself. I would now close your eyes, if you haven't already. And just see if that helps you to envisage what's happening. So don't make it uncomfortable. Allow your ribs to move and watch your hands move, but keep your hands in the same place. Sorry, I'm not letting the strap go through my hands. I'm just letting the hands move closer together as the strap widens. And then as I exhale, I'm drawing the strap back a little bit. So maybe then you can start to move the diaphragm just a little bit more on the next breath. Expand it just a little bit more. So the diaphragm's not circular, it's more oval shaped probably. And we know it's the muscle that we need to keep the strongest actually, or the most flexible also. It's a really important muscle. It's obviously all to do with our respiratory health. So once you've got the hang of that, see if you can change your breath up now and inhale just a little bit longer. So inhaling for up to a count of 6, just a little bit longer, and then exhaling for the same long 6 or 5 or whatever you've got to. Just really just taking not a deeper breath, a more expansive breath. And as you do that, you'll start to slow down maybe the speed that your ribs and your diaphragm are opening, so it may be a little bit more easeful. And on the exhale, allow the ribs and the diaphragm just to close up gently and slowly. If anybody's not really getting this with the strap, or it's really uncomfortable and they don't like it, just pop your hands on your knees and follow the breath practice. And just visualize what's happening inside you. So then let go of the longer breath and move back to your inhale for 4, but this time see if you can pause for 2 after the inhale and exhale for 4. No pause after the exhale. Straight back to the inhale for 4, paused for 2, exhale for 4. So you're pausing at the point that your ribs are the most expanded, that your diaphragm is the most expanded. A little bit easier to attach yourself to the ribs here. But this practice, what we're doing today, just continue with that. And if you don't like the pauses, then go back to just breathing 4 and 4. So what we're doing with this practice today is thinking of supporting ourselves. We support lots of other people in our lives. Here we support other people through our charity, which I'm going to sort out today. We also therefore need to support ourselves, because one of the premises is that the first person you should support is yourself, or you're no use to other people. So letting go of that pause process, now go to inhale for 4, exhale for 6. So a long exhale, no pauses. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. So you've expanded, but you're actually having to draw back in a little bit slower, because you've got to get to the end of the 6, but you've only got the same amount of space in your diaphragm. So you're having to control the diaphragm here, controlling it with the breath. So going back to supporting yourself, just continue with the inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Here we're working with our respiratory health. Majorly important, we all know that, but after COVID we're even more certain of it. And the diaphragm is the muscle of the respiratory system. The muscle, I'm saying, not the only one, but the muscle. So we're working with that in this process. We're also working with self-awareness of our physical body. So you're becoming more aware of where your diaphragm is, how it works, whether you're working it properly or using it to its full potential, and you're exercising it at a time. We're also doing a little bit of mindfulness here, because we're really focusing on something and on the breath. So lots of things going on. Change that breath up now, and we're going to try that pause at the end of the exhale if you can. If you don't like this, just breathe in for 4, out for 4, and return to the inhale. If you can, inhale for 4, exhale for 4, pause for 2. So pausing at the bottom, when the strap feels the sort of closest, your diaphragm is smallest, and then back to the inhale to expand it again. So resting the diaphragm at the bottom with the pause for 2. And as we know in yoga, counter poses are really important. So letting a muscle rest is really important. Everybody knows that does exercise too. So what we're also doing here, supporting ourselves, is using our prana, our energy. We're moving our energy and helping it to flow better. And we're supporting our physical and mental health. So lots of things going on just in this breath practice, and supporting ourselves through yoga. Okay, so when you come to the end of your next pause, and you can inhale again, let go of the strap, allow your body to take back over the breathing process now. Just allow it gently, but eyes still closed. Be very aware of whether you're breathing a little bit differently now, whether that connection to the diaphragm has helped you to breathe a little bit better. I'm not, because I'm talking, but hopefully you can feel that you've exercised something there in your middle and it's working better, and that's really what we've been focusing on. Okay, so we're going to move to using the strap in a different way now. I'll come off your black blocks if you want to. We're changing our leg position, so come off the blocks and then take your strap and make it into the biggest hoop that you can make it. So right at the very end, you're just popping the thing through the D thing and tying it off right at the end there, so You've got a really big circle here now. And then when you're ready, pop the strap over your head and under your arms, and again find the top of your, so it's kind of the bottom of your shoulders, I suppose, but under your armpits. You want it as high up at the back of your body, but still under your armpits. You're holding it at the moment in both hands. And then we're bringing our feet into Baddha Konasana, so feet together here, bound angle pose. And then you have to fold forward slightly and pop the strap round your feet. Now, if this isn't available for you with the strap, please just bring your bricks in and pop them under your thighs in Baddha Konasana for some support. Use some support here, but this is just a way of supporting. You then take the strap, those that have got it, it's round your feet and round your back. You then just bring your knees in, pop it on the outside of your knees, and let your knees take the support from the strap. It will then pull on your back a little bit. So again, be very careful. If this isn't for you, please don't do it. Use your arms also as a little bit of support if you need to just push back into that strap. But otherwise, if it feels comfortable, now just allow yourself to tuck your tummy, tuck your chin, and roll forward and round into that forward fold shape. So your head's still heading towards your feet, not straight down towards your belly. But you're drawing up through your belly and through the back of your body where your heart is and the strap is. Lift up there and bring yourself into a comfortable position. Eyes closed, I would suggest here, but if you feel better with them open, then that's fine. And just allow the legs then to fall into the strap. So you might, some of you may fall completely forward here in this forward fold shape. If that's the case, then let your knees just fall out, but still take the weight through the strap. And it's just allowing your legs to get into this position, therefore, without having to strain on the muscles. The muscles will relax when they know that something else is holding you. It's just a bit like you can relax when your children leave home or something, but you know somebody else is looking after them. Or your husbands. So when we're in this position now, focus first of all on your feet, not with your eyes, but with your inner eyes. So take your attention down to your feet. Feel the long edge of your feet against the surface of the floor or the carpet or whatever you're on. So they should be kind of touching, so you want to bring them closer together if they're not quite. You might then find that the balls of your feet can actually roll out. It may not be available because your knees aren't going out far enough. Have a little wiggle through your toes. And then bring your attention up to your hips. And maybe look your lower back. So if your lower back is really prodding you to have some attention, then draw your tummy back towards your spine. And see if that releases that movement through your lower back. Well, it won't release the movement, but it will relax the movement. The muscle that's holding you there needs something to support it. So your tummy muscles here, the abdominal muscles, are what we're using to support it. So we draw back from your pelvic floor. See if you can draw right back from there up to your ribs. And see if you can find that ease then in your lower back muscles. And breathe. So as you breathe here, release the energy that you're building up through these tense muscles. Focus on them and release them on the exhale. So if it's your lower back, you can really feel this on, or if it's your thighs, or maybe even your shoulders. Use your exhale here to release you. So the support here of the strap is helping us to go deeper and experience this pose, but just in a different way. Have 2 or 3 more breaths, exhaling deeply and long exhales, just to see if you can release anything else. Maybe it's your neck muscles that need to be released a little bit. Maybe it's your shoulders. Maybe your hands are holding on. Don't release your tummy muscles though. Okay, so we're going to come out of this in a second. Please take this really slowly, really carefully. Use your hands to gently help to support and roll you up through your upper body so that you feel that strap against your back. Bring your knees towards each other, so sit them up together, and then take the strap off one way or another. Mine's come up under me rather than over my feet, but whichever way, take the strap off, carefully move it out from underneath you if that's where it's ended up. Pop it to the side. Pop your feet flat to the floor then, move yourself back a little bit, knees are still bent, but we've got more open legs here. And then pop your hands behind you by just gently rolling one shoulder round, rolling the other shoulder round onto the back of your body, and popping your fingers to point backwards or to the side if you can't quite point backwards. If you want to and it's comfortable, then you can lengthen the legs. And we're just going to take a little bit of a back bend as a counterpose to what's been happening in your lower back particularly. So inhaling, we're just going to draw up from the sit bones. Think of your spine moving forward, not your tummy muscles, but more your spine rolling forward, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling open. Chest opens at the top. Try not to open your throat though, trying to keep that chin engaged so that your head doesn't get too heavy. When you get to the top, just take 2 or 3 breaths here. See if you can press through the heels of your hands, maybe through the heels of your feet. Maybe you point your toes, open up the front body as much as you can as a counter pose to our forward fold we've just done. And after your next exhale, slowly allow your spine to roll back down from the top down towards your base of your spine. Walk your hands back in, sitting back up. We're going to move round onto our knees now. You need your strap again when you're ready. You can cushion your knees, but we're not going to be here for long. A couple of breaths really on either side of our body. My strap's still short, but that should be okay. If it's still in the circle, don't worry. Keep it like that and just hold it at either end. We're going to do cow face, Gomukhasana. So here, go equals cow and mukha equals face. So cow face, that's why we've, and asana is always pose at the end of a word in yoga Sanskrit. So taking your strap in your right hand, pop it behind you. Everybody use the strap today, even if you know you can do this, just use the strap as an extra support. Those of us that can't do it in some sides, it will help to aid us to get there. So bring that elbow in then, the elbow that the strap's in, bring it in so that your arm comes in towards your ear. So you can start this with a long arm and then fold down, but this is just the same thing. We're just trying to keep that elbow in, so there's a long line down this side body then. And then see if you can lift that elbow up, and your hand should go down the back of your body with your strap. So there'll be a long feeling here now in your tricep. So you're opening up that tricep. So don't push it, just take it easily, but get it to where you're most comfortable. And then take the other arm, take it out to the side, palm facing forward, turn the arm round at the shoulder, not just at the wrist, at the shoulder, and then fold that elbow and bring that arm in behind you and take a hold of the strap. Now I know, as I say, some of you on this side, I can easily touch my hands, but use the strap to walk up and find those fingers and then hold the strap rather than your hands. So while we're here, what are we thinking of? We're thinking of posture. This is going to help us support our posture. So draw your heart back towards where your hands are on the strap, and that should hopefully draw your tummy in and tuck your bottom. And then tuck your chin so that your neck is nice and long in the back of your neck. Should be no pressure on it. The hands should be nowhere near that. And then think of lifting up through that top elbow and drawing down through the bottom elbow and keeping both arms as close to the body as you can. So body awareness here is a big part of this as well. We cue a lot in this class anatomically to try and help you find your alignment, really. So this strap is now helping us support ourselves through finding flexibility as well as another point in our body here. And it's helping us achieve the pose. So in this side, you might can do it. I know in my other side, I do need the strap to achieve it. And I'm not too vain to mention that. So using support to get somewhere is sensible. Okay, so other side, carefully take the arm down. Let the arms rest for a moment. Feel the difference. Feel the prana, the energy that you've moved through that area of your shoulders and your arms. Maybe you can feel your posture's a little bit better. Maybe you can feel your spine is a little bit longer. Take the strap into the other hand, same thing. Let's put it over the shoulder this time. Let's bring the elbow in close. So you've got a nice defined line at the side body. Let's push the elbow upwards. So you've got a nice long tricep in the side body. Other arm comes out. We rotate at the shoulder so the palm faces backwards. We fold in then, so you've got a nice open feeling across the front of the shoulder as you fold in. And that is obviously where my problem is, because I can't reach that hand anything like as high as the other one. So now my strap's invaluable to me. This support I've got here is making me achieve the pose to some extent, as much as I can, and that's sometimes all we can do. But it also is making me more aware of what's wrong here and where the problems are in my body. Not with judgment, it might help me to know that. Holding the strap, now everybody draw the shoulder blades together and then try and draw the elbows up and down. And then find your breath. If your eyes are not, close them now. Draw your tummies in, find that long spine, sit up through from the sit bones up to the crown. And breathe, move your heart back towards the strap a little bit. Lift your chin just a little bit. And breathe. Feel the muscles move. See if you can use the exhale just to lift and open the muscles under your armpits a little bit more. Maybe you can open that shoulder that's turning backwards just a little bit more across the collarbones. And release yourself back down. Release the strap carefully. Pop the strap to this, actually while you've got the strap in your hand, let's just put it into a little circle now, ready for the end for dancer. So a foot circle, this one, so roll it up until you've got just that small foot hold, and then pop it out the way. We don't need it for a while, the strap. Do need your bricks now, so bring your bricks in. So another form of support, another prop. And you'll be glad to know this is a nice, easy one. We're going to go into child's pose, and we're going to use everybody the brick to pop your third eye onto. So sitting in child's pose, hip distance legs, not knees together. Knees are a little bit apart, the width of your hips, and then you're sitting down onto your heels, and then everybody's bringing the brick in to pop their head on, which you'll all be grateful for, because some of us, our spines won't really be ready to move forward, so our bottoms would have popped up there. Okay, everybody, find your third eye now on the brick. Elbows are on the floor as extra support. Find your third eye just above your eyebrows where they meet in the middle. Have a little rock through from side to side on the brick. Have a little roll through and see if you can massage that area and find the point where it really makes you go, ah. So if you do this to a cat, a rabbit, a dog, particularly cats and rabbits, they'll just flop for you. If you find the right spot to massage, they literally can't do much else but let go. So maybe you can't quite find that spot to let go today, but being aware of it's a good thing. and then rest. Don't need to keep rocking. So you can just press gently through that area onto the brick. Allow the heavy old head to rest heavily on the brick. So the 7 kilos now being taken off the weight of your shoulders and your neck and being put through the support of the brick and the floor. When you do that, you really realise the weight of your head. And we're breathing through the back of our body here, moving the diaphragm. While you're down here, and I've got you here, can you remember the name of, I can't remember the name of bound angle that we did at the beginning? Can you remember the Sanskrit name for it now? So by using Sanskrit, I like it as a memory aid. It also brings in the old ancient practice of yoga. The name was Baddha Konasana. So asana at the end is the same, always means pose. Baddha means bound and Kona means angle. So bound angle, Baddha Konasana. So there we've done a little bit of brain training while we're doing it as well, supporting our memory aid, as a memory aid rather. Okay, so gently rolling back up, bringing in your other bricks, well your 2 bricks rather. So we're going to go into low lunge, and I know some of you like to do low lunge more like this, but we're going to try and use the brick to see if we can get everybody a little bit further. If you can do low lunge fully, then that's fine, that's all you need to do. So stepping forward with the right foot and bringing your bricks there, you might still have your knee under your hip. Move your front knee over your ankle. See if that's already extended here through your hip flexor. That might be enough for you. Bricks are on tall. They can go down lower if you're comfortable with it. It's up to you. If you're not usually got the knee so far back, come onto the tall bricks. And then slowly see if you can just walk that leg a little bit further back, the back leg, so that you extend even more through this hip flexor. But move your weight forward through your crown of your head. Move your weight and through into your shoulders and your arms, and press gently on the bricks. So you might also want to use the back foot as a little bit of support here to lift off the knee. Technically, you're supposed to be on the bottom of your thigh bone here, but that's quite a big thing to ask, so don't try that if it's not in your practice. Okay, so everybody's hopefully got themselves into a position where they're comfortable. You should have no pain through knees or anything here. So let's go first of all for the extension. So breathing in, lift the head up, reach up, press through the hands, through the bricks, through the floor, lift yourself a little bit higher, draw the tummy in, lift up through the crown, and then exhale, soften. This time, go for the back bend. If you don't feel your hands and shoulders are right, bring the bricks back or forward, wherever it makes more sense to you. So closing the eyes helps there. Inhale and roll open. Roll the heart forward this time. Through between the shoulders. Sit up a little bit higher. Still try to use your bricks to give you a little bit of support. Open up into your back bend. Exhale, lower. Bring your right hand brick inside your right foot, the front foot in my case. The other brick's not necessary, or you can hold it if you want to at this point. You can use it in your hand as a guide. All we're going to do is lift up, lift that front hand up, lift it over, and take it behind us so that we end up in a twist. And then bring the brick back round and back to the floor. Take one more of those. Lift up, rotate, open, back, and down. Take the bricks now, pop them near the middle, under middle of your legs, and straighten that front leg and sit down carefully onto your back heel. If you need to keep that front knee bent, don't worry. Use the bricks here if you need support off that back leg, if it's too strong on your knee. Lift up a little bit, but then draw that front hip, so your front leg hip, draw it back to be parallel, and see if you can flex your foot. Even if your knee's bent, flex your foot. And if you can, maybe you can just push through the foot gently to open up the leg a little bit further. Try not to lock that knee though. So half splits. Using your heels of your hands, press into your bricks and see if you can just lift up a little bit on the inhale and exhale, soften. Inhale up, exhale, soften. Fold that leg in. We're going to come and do the same thing other side. So now you know what you're doing. So you're stepping forward with the left foot. You're going a little bit further forward than normal if you normally have them in right angle. So a little bit further forward. Bring your bricks forward. Move forward onto the flat of that foot. So your knee then comes forward over your ankle and you're opening up through the back hip flexor. If you can walk that foot back a little bit more, then do so. Everybody lift their tummies off their thighs, including me. Bring your bricks in at whatever height you want, but everybody now, we're looking for extension. So inhaling, push into the hands gently, lift up through the crown, draw up through the heart, draw the tummy in, draw the hips forward, open up that hip flexor, exhale, soften. Next one, we go for the heart opener now. So inhale, roll the heart forward, excuse me. Lift up, you might have to come up onto your hands a little bit more as you push through the bricks and open. The bricks are just here being used as an arm extension. Now we're taking the brick inside your left foot, the front foot, with your left hand. And we're using the other brick to guide us. So we're lifting it, making semicircle forward as much as we can. Lift it up as high as much as we can. Rotate and look backwards with it as much as we can, extending. And then bringing it back. So we're inhaling round and we're exhaling back. Take one more, inhaling round. Exhaling back. And release back into that half splits. Whichever way you take it. You can stay up here. If it was too strong in your knee to sit down, you can stay up. The idea is to draw this hip back to make it square and to flex that foot so that we open up the back of the leg here. So if it's too strong to sit down for you on your other knee, then stay up. You can do it further forward if necessary and lean forward over it. Just trying to get a little bit of stretch here in the back of the leg and hamstring. We're actually going to open. The quads should be feeling a little bit hotter now. You should have switched them on a bit already. So bring that foot back. We're going to roll up now to standing. So still hands on tall bricks. One foot at a time, come onto the floor with your feet. Walk them forward so that they are between the bricks. So now your hands are at either side of your feet. Knees are really soft and bent if you're comfortable. If you can open your legs just a little bit more, reaching up with the bottom, then do so. Just going to take a half roll here. So take the bricks with you. So inhale, roll up, bricks come off the floor, and then exhale, roll down. Knees are still bent. So just opening up a little bit through the hips and the base of that spine. And then leaving the bricks there, hands on legs, roll up carefully, full roll up this time, come up to the top, exhale, open, roll back down, come into your forward fold. Using the bricks if you want to, or feet, hands to the floor if you can extend that far already. Roll back up. And on the next roll down, you're going to grab one of the bricks and bring it up with you. So grab a brick as you roll back up. Come back up to the top. Take the brick up. Take it above your head maybe. Have a little push through that brick. Extend and then bring the brick back down. Holding the brick at your heart now. So in two hands, we're going to take chair. That was a big shock, wasn't it? We weren't quite ready for that. So feet hip distance apart or together, depends where you feel more stable in chair. We're tucking the tummy and tilting the pelvis. And then we're going to sink that bottom down as if you were sitting into a chair. So moving the weight back. Watch the weight doesn't go too back onto your heels though, or you'll stumble and fall. So keep the feet flat on the floor. So the tummy's pulled in, the heart is moving forward now. Bring the brick in and draw the shoulders back. Feel that extension through the spine then. Tuck the bottom under and sit down a little bit further. So move your heart into the brick. Keep your chin tucked as well. So there should be a long extension from your sit bones or from your tailbone right up to your crown. And then standing up, push the brick away from you, extend the arms out, and then exhale, we're sitting back down into chair. We'll take 3 of these. So extending up, don't worry where you're getting to. Just remember to tuck the tummy, tuck the bottom. Doesn't matter how far your knees bend. Back up. We all know we can sit down in a chair perfectly well, so all we're doing here is warming up the thighs a little bit. I think I've got one more. Probably haven't, but I'm just doing another one. Okay, one more. Stand up when you're ready. Step back with your right foot coming into warrior 1 feet. So your warrior 1 stance is on a train track, remember? All we're doing here is using the brick in front of us to turn our heart towards the front. Keep the brick close to your heart. Inhale, sweep the brick forward and then up above your head to extend. So you're not going into a back bend, you're extending. Push gently there, a couple of breaths at the top, just pushing through the brick with your healing hands, extending and softening. Inhaling, extend, exhale, soften. Knees and legs are still in the same position. All that's moving really here is your side bodies and your shoulders. You're pushing gently into the back foot along that back edge. And then bring the brick down. Take 1 up and we're going to hold here in back bend. So roll forward with the heart this time. Brick still in the hands above the head. Take the brick, if you can, out of your peripheral vision a little bit more. So your elbows and your shoulders go back a little bit. And breathe. And then roll back down. Step forward. Have a rest if you need to. If you're finding the arm movements too much for you, keep your arms down and just keep the brick at your heart centre. Move back with the left foot now into warrior 1 feet. Not quite get my stance on the left side. Rotate so that your heart's facing forward against the brick. Inhale, take the brick out and round and up. Extend. Take a couple of breaths here, extending up and down, pushing through the back edge of the back foot and the heels of the hands, lifting the front toes. And then bring the brick back down into your back bend now. So breathing in, reaching out, rolling up, roll the heart forward. Take the brick out your peripheral vision if you can, up above, look upwards. Breathe. And release the hands down. Step forwards. Quickly before we do dancer, we're just going to take the brick in your left hand, take the right knee, and we're just going to fold that leg up and catch your foot or your trousers. Now, my leg often spasms the first time I do that. It's fine when I do it the second. It's just never ready. Bring your knee in close then, so your thighs are squeezed together. Your hands on your foot or your trousers. And all we're doing here is thinking extending the quads, the quadratus femoris, which the quadriceps femoris rather, and that is 4-headed muscle on your femur. So there's 4 muscles in your quads. If you want an extension with a brick, you can take it up above you. You don't need to do that if you'd rather just keep your arm down, but it's this that we're stretching here before we do the next move. And we're opening up these 4 muscles in our quads, some of the strongest muscles in our bodies. Release that foot, take it on the other side. See, that one knew it was coming, so it was fine. So we're taking that leg back, so the legs are parallel here, and the knees are close together, and the thighs are squeezed, and the knee is moving down. Just thinking of moving down with the knee and drawing in that hip bone, the hip joint here, so that you feel that extension again through the hip flexor and down into these 4 muscles in your quads. And then release. Grab your chair and your strap now if you think you might need it. Don't necessarily have to have the strap here. If you have trouble kicking into your foot and holding it with your hand, then use the strap. But if you don't, then just do it in a normal way, holding onto your foot. Okay, so you're in the back of the chair. I'm going to do this. You can use a worktop for this. It's quite good to have something in front of you. Make sure you've got a body's length here in between. And then grab your right foot again in that position we were just in. So remember the other day we kicked into the foot, or the foot rather, into the strap. If you've got the strap there and it's over your shoulder, then that's fine. If you can catch the foot, that's fine too. Both ways, kick the foot into the strap of the hand and take the foot out as far behind you as you can. So the chair as a prop here is great for balance, but it's also good so that we're now going to just take a few dips and move forward. So just using the fulcrum of that standing leg to move forward. Anybody that's holding the foot particularly, if you're finding that that knee is going out to the side, it shouldn't be. It should still feel as if it's moving parallel to the other leg. Well, not parallel, side by side. There should be no going outwards here. So if it is, stop at the top, walk your hand round your foot and have your hand taking the hold of the inside of your foot. So it's like that now. You've had your hand here, you're walking around and holding it in the inside. Your leg's not going out, it's here, and it's going backwards. And then we're just playing with that movement and see when you can get into dancer. So you kick your foot back into your hand and you rotate your heart again, just like we did in Warrior One, so that your heart is moving forward to the back of the chair. So you want a kind of back bend feeling, and then you're moving forward over that front leg. So your thighs coming upwards, your heart's moving forwards, and then come back up. Try it on the other side now. For those of you that had the strap, it is a little bit easier just to move backwards and forwards than having all the connection. The holding your foot actually opens your shoulder a lot more. So if you found it better and you could, put your hand on the inside straight away of the back foot. Make sure you've got a body length. Kick into that foot and just play with it. Make sure your heart feels like it's going forward. You're a little bit asymmetrical because your shoulder's opened here, but do try and draw your body forward as well. Kick into that foot at the top. See how high you can get that back thigh. See how much you can push open through the foot. Maybe you can let go of the chair. Maybe you can just put your arm on the top of the chair. Move the heart forward now and lift your head up and look forward. And then release that down. So we could play with that all day actually, but you can do that on your kitchen worktop when you're getting bored in the kitchen making the dinner the next time. It's quite a nice one because it's quite easeful to play, and when you've got the support of something, it's much better. So Natarajasana, dancer pose. Okay, come into Tadasana. We're just going to finish in Tadasana. But before you come into Tadasana, have a little shake through. Just have a shake through everything. Let everything have a bit of a release from what we've been holding, particularly your thighs. And then come slowly back to central and into Tadasana. Close your eyes if you're comfortable, or find a drishti point, a half eye open point, so that you don't, so that your vision draws inwards a bit more. Roll your shoulders back like we did in that seated position earlier. Open the palms of the hands, draw the tummy in, tuck the bottom. So supporting yourself through yoga. Standing here, we're supporting ourselves, obviously. There's nothing holding us up but the floor and the earth. So we're always supported, actually. We think we're doing things on our own, but there's always some support somewhere. Here, we want to move through our feet, because that's the end of us. That's what's holding us up, not our spine, essentially. It's our legs. So move through your feet. Feel that connection up through your legs. Feel the connection then into your hips. Maybe squeeze your glutes a little bit. Feel it moving in towards your spine then. And then take that support of the spine up through and open the shoulders, tuck the chin, lift the crown, spread the fingers, maybe spread and lift your toes. Breathe in and out, nice and slowly. Well done for supporting yourself. Look at all the things we've done: respiratory health, mental health, physical health, self-awareness, mindfulness, prana, energy moving, bit of fun, bit of memory training, learned a bit of Sanskrit, all in 45 to 50 minutes. So well done, everybody. Let go of the breath now. Relax the stance a little bit. Release a little bit through your feet. Allow your shoulders to drop a little bit. Your arms to become heavy. Bring your hands together at heart center. Finishing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Thank you, everybody, for your practice. May the light in me always greet the light in you. That is the meaning behind Namaste. So Namaste.